You didn't go to the Bilderberg meeting in Switzerland that we held under an iceberg, brother.
That nigga picking them bitches up. That nigga picking them bitches up.
Let's go, let's go.
I refuse to answer any questions under the grounds that they have made incriminate me.
Oh my God, he on X Games mode.
Yo, what's up with it, man? I know y'all ain't got to go to work tomorrow. Go on and slide on in. Get comfortable, settle down and sit down. Relax yourself for a little bit. I'll open up the stream if anybody want to participate, but it's not mandatory. For those who are here, man, I am glad that you are here. And we're going to get ready to cook up here in a minute. Let's go. Go ahead and come on in, relax yourself, get settled in. We wide open tonight, open topic, whatever it is that you want to talk about, any questions that you want to ask, feel free to do so. Let's go.
What the fuck? Oh my Lord Jesus. What in the...
Oh my God. Ginger? Oh. Hey.
Chilling, you know what I'm saying? I'm thugged out, nigga, but I just seen a motherfucking rainbow, nigga. I ain't that motherfucking thugged out, nigga. That shit beautiful than a motherfucker. My baby mama probably at the end of that bitch with a gold digging ass.
A man's conference.
A man conference, okay.
I'm a motivational speaker, you know.
Yeah, you know I know about you. You know, I see you red up today.
Your color's red.
Okay. Okay, cool. I see you, bro.
All right, stay in touch now.
Okay.
Daddy, his hair looks wet.
Man, I done fuck around and caught the motherfucking mic. Fuck around and caught the monkey. Fuck around and caught the bucket.
All right, let's get it. What's going on, people? How y'all doing? For those of you who are here, I am glad that you are here. If y'all could do me a favor and let me know, where did you hear about this channel at? Did you hear about it from Brother Alan Obi from We Need to Talk? Is it from our brother TLA? Is it from the days of moderating from Brother Kevin Samuels? Is it from O'Shea Duke Jackson? You all will politely let me know exactly where is it that you heard about this channel. I will greatly appreciate it. Trying some new stuff with the channel. That's why you see the Cash App, the PayPal, and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to worry about contributing. I'm testing out some of the new features. Dr. T. Hassan Johnson of BGS Ed Moore. Brother Rob, what's going on, boss? Did a really good job of stating your position on We Need to Talk the other night. Excellent job, bro. I'm glad you're here, boss. Appreciate you taking the time to stop by. I'm gonna bring up a video here in a minute, and it has something to do with this therapist. The therapist who supposedly wanted to help Black men, even though we didn't ask for her help. We're gonna bring up a video that a brother posted on TikTok, older brother, and he said something that was really profound. So when she came out and she said that, hey, I was trying to help Black men, and most of my clients are Black men. Sis, we really don't need your help, or didn't ask for your help, right? And this brother really put it into perspective on the therapy that brothers so-called need. These brothers are getting therapy, just not in the traditional way. They're getting therapy from brothers like myself who've been through the ringer when it comes to family court and when it comes to broken relationships. They are getting therapy from men actually starting to talk to each other right now and starting to share information and compare notes. That is where they are getting their therapy from. Now, I'm not saying that it is a complete substitute for going out and getting professional help. But what I am saying is that even more so now than ever, brothers are actually starting to have a conversation, and brothers are actually starting to talk to each other, and brothers are actually starting to bounce ideas off of each other. So with that being said, we are going to check out exactly what this brother had to say. My brother Blockavellian here, what's going on, boss? My boy out there in, I think, what is that, UAE? United Arab Emirates or Dubai? I think Dubai. My brother be on the go, man. High value brother. Always coming in supporting the supporting the channel. So I appreciate that. What I want to do, I want to check out this video that this brother put out. And I've seen him on TikTok quite a few times. I've never seen his YouTube channel. But this brother brought up a really good point. Let me know if the sound is off. And I'll try and correct it on my end, but check this out.
It's your friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these hoes, but got her job terminated as a result.
Well, there's your problem right there. One, you were thinking. Two, you were a therapist. These men are getting therapy from us. Old school street therapy for free. Sit your ass down and go find another job and shut up.
Oh, man. So that brother mentioned an excellent point. Brothers are getting old school street therapy. For a lot of brothers, man, oftentimes we assume that they have that big brother that's that has those conversations with them. They have those uncles. They have those grandfathers. They have their fathers or their father's best friend that give them some game. I'll give you a story about something that happened to me. I was with my children's mother. And this was before I was red pilled, but I was with my children's mother, loved this woman more than I loved myself, right? Which was number one, that was my first cardinal sin. Loved this woman more than I loved myself. And anytime anything happened, I made it a point to try and make sure all things were right in the world with this woman, all right? Now, we ended up having a breakup when my children were small. This is for my daughter, who's soon to be 19, my son, who's soon to be 18. We split up right around when they were about 1 and 2 years old, right? She fell into the same trap as a lot of other sisters fall into. She had single friends that convinced her that that grass may be greener on the other side. Me, I was going to work every day, bringing home the bacon, taking care of all the bills, doing what I thought was right. When we broke up, that was a breakup that I took really, really hard because I was doing everything that I could to make sure that the house functioned the way that it was supposed to, or the way that I thought it was supposed to. My stepfather had a close friend that was like a brother to him and like an uncle to us. And as I was sitting in this empty apartment without my children there, without their mom there, trying to figure out what was going to be my next move, I was so distraught, man. I was having issues at work, having issues with how I actually took care of all of us, right? For a lot of guys, our family is our purpose. They're our reason to get up and go out into this world, go out and chase down the gazelle and bring it back for the family, right? Or in another way, I would say they are our reason to go out into this world, compete with other men. In a city like the one that I live in Dallas, is a transit city. More people are not from here that live here. More people are not from here. So you go out and you compete with the best that other states have to offer. You have people that come from California that move to Dallas to compete. You have people that come from New York, people that come from all of the neighboring states, the Mississippis, the Louisianas, the Oklahomas, the New Mexicos. People come down from the Dakotas. People come from Appalachian country, Kentucky, Tennessee, up from Ohio, Cincinnati, all come to Dallas because up until recently, the cost of living is pretty reasonable. So you can get you a nice home, $200,000, $150 back then, $100 back then. But in a city like this one, people don't come here to sit on their hands. People come down here to compete, right? But for those of us who live in large metropolitan cities, a lot of times that's the case. I could even think of your Orlandos or your Miamis. So for us, for most men, you know, we feel proud when we go out and we're able to earn a respectable wage and bring that money home to our families. Now, in my case, when I went through this breakup, that was something that I struggled with. I was like, man, this is something that's new. How am I supposed to navigate this landscape and figure out what my purpose is? My purpose just walked out the door with the kids. And I got to try to figure out how I'm going to work this crazy schedule that I was on, roll in, spending time with the children, and trying to keep myself together while I'm spending time with them. And then going through this thing of worrying about what the hell she was doing while the kids are with me. So those are some of the things that I was dealing with. And those are some of the things that actually started my journey of taking the red pill. Now, hindsight being 2020, I can own my whole part in interacting with my children's mother. The first mistake was putting her on a pedestal. And what I would say to any brothers that are watching this or any brothers that have come later and watch this, that is probably one of the worst things that you can do, especially if you desire to be somebody who is operating in a hyper-competitive environment and being able to effectively operate in a hyper-competitive environment. That was the first mistake, was putting her before myself. The second mistake that I made was putting too much on her as far as being what I would consider the ideal mate. Now, had I looked at her for who she was and really took into consideration my personality trying to work with her, I probably could have made a better judgment call. But being young, being wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, wanting to do things right, wanting to make sure my children had the same father, because, you know, me and my siblings, my mother didn't. You know, my mother didn't procreate with the same guy. So I wanted to reset this whole dynamic. That was my goal, is, okay, if I'm going to have children and I'm going to be with somebody, it's going to be this woman. It just so happened I picked wrong in the sense of our personalities didn't mesh. It didn't match. I let a lot of stuff slide that I shouldn't have let slide. But at the end of the day, she's the woman that I picked, and I could own that part of the equation. Now, touching on this video that we just watched, this brother said brothers are getting old school street therapy. Now, while this may not be the ideal way that we have conversations and get those feelings that are inside of us out, I think to a certain extent it's helping. Matter of fact, I think it's helping a lot. Matter of fact, I would even say that it's helping enough so that we can keep brothers from self-deleting until they actually build up the nerve and build up the courage to go and sit down on somebody's couch and have the professional conversation that they may need in order to save their life. My whole point behind doing this channel is to try and mix a lot of current events, mix a lot of my experience, to give you an idea, of course, for those who are here. If you don't know who I am Wrench Turner. I am at a director level for Fortune 500 in industrial automation and beverage manufacturing. I am currently a moderator for Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul. I'm a moderator for the lead attorney. I am a moderator for attorney Dennis Sperling Esquire, and a moderator on a couple of other channels. Okay. Also a moderator for O'Shea Duke Jackson too. The way that I came to YouTube and the way that I came to the manosphere is behind the scenes, I've contributed thousands and thousands of dollars to brothers' channel, to the manosphere in general, supporting a lot of brothers. About 2 years ago, mediocre tutorials and reviews, brother Antoine Wade, brother Andre Hatchett, brother George Macon, brother Gabe A, brother Keep It Techie. We all did streams on O'Shea Duke Jackson's platform that basically it was called the Hall of Game. All of us came from different industries. All of us earn over 6 figures. And we wanted to give some of that game back to brothers who listen to those streams, and even sisters. There were sisters in there listening to it too. So those are some of the things that I've done behind the scenes before I decided to start my own channel. Even before I was ever starting to cam up. Those are some of the things that I've done in this space before ever really putting myself out there. The most important thing to me was to make sure that we were contributing information that would help brothers, because I was seeing the trend. I was starting to see the trend where brothers were really taking themselves out of the game. Brothers were really going through breakups and going through divorces and had nowhere to turn because we have such a stigma tied to mental health. Now, not so much. You have a lot more people talking about it, but that's what brings us to the topic that we're talking about right now with this therapist. I'll roll that video again, and then I'll start to get into some of the points that that I'm going to touch on. One more again.
It's your friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these hoes, but got her job terminated as a result.
Well, there's your problem right there. 1, you were thinking. 2, you were a therapist. These men are getting therapy from us. Old school street therapy for free. Now sit your ass down and go find another job and shut up.
Oh, man. You know, what I would say to that video, bro, is the idea that she felt like she had the moral high ground to determine what it is that men needed, oftentimes men older than her. You know, I don't care how much education you go out and get, especially for us. I think that our needs are a lot different than some other people. Our needs sometimes need to be a little bit more tailored to our experiences in order for the message to actually get through. But when you go on that sister page, one of the things that you see is, number one, you see the LGBT rainbow on there. So my question is, as a alphabet woman, why is it that Black men are your target demographic? Why is it that you want to talk to Black men? What is it that you have to say to us? For me personally, I feel like you've already drawn a line in the sand. You've already drawn a line in the sand as far as where you stand concerning heterosexual Black men. And what a lot of people aren't talking about, maybe because it's not entertaining enough, is oftentimes we are the target for a lot of the vitriol that comes out, especially as it relates to our sisters. I personally don't feel like a lot of them have the lived experience to hate men, but they've adopted several talking points from these liberal white women who are so comfortably brewing this toxic environment in some of these bastions of higher learning and some of these colleges. And in the perfect world, it wouldn't be happening at our HBCUs, but let's be honest, it's running rapid there also. So when that brother says they're getting old school street therapy, he's spot on. The beautiful thing about it, you think about Brother Tiosan Johnson, man, how talented this guy is. And for him to get on YouTube and really break this stuff down better than I ever could, break it down better than I've ever heard anybody else break it down before. But he takes our experiences mixed with his own experiences, mixed in with his vast amount of knowledge. And he breaks this stuff down in a way where the average brother that is hearing it can digest it and it's relatable and he looks like us. That is the jewel of the manosphere. My brother Rob say that's why she did therapy with us specifically. Yeah, man. When that information came out, or when her videos came out, and when you watch it, I'm like, bro, she is the last person that should even want to talk to us. Why not go talk to studs? That is of your demographic, sis. You're an alphabet woman, plenty of studs to talk to. A lot of them say that they've had trauma occur with them when they were younger. Go talk to them. You know, and then the doubling down on it. This is the funny thing. She said that black man called Massa. Oh, y'all went and called Massa because you didn't like what I was saying. Bro, if there was ever a situation where a black man said something that women didn't like, the first thing they do is go after their job. And they've been doing it for years. They've been doing it for years, bro. Not all sisters, but there's enough of them. They know that they can't physically overtake a man. So typically what they'll do is go after your job. You look at how the family court has been weaponized against brothers. I can't think of a situation where brothers went and weaponized the system versus women. Even in situations where tires have been slashed, windows have been busted out, mirrors been broken off, paint thinner poured on your car. But the windows busted and paint poured inside of the car. I can't think of a situation where brothers went out and weaponized the system against a woman. So as the bow breaks, or when the rubber band snaps back, all of a sudden they master then. They master when you get a little bit of taste of your own medicine. That's interesting. Brothers have been dealing with the system being weaponized against them from our own sisters for a long time, and we just take it. Because I think for a lot of us, brothers have warrants and tickets. Brothers have other situations that prevent them from calling the police. And then culturally, it is not something that the average black man does. Get on the horn and just automatically call the police. Things may be different now. I'm 39, bro. There's a whole nother wave that's behind me. But for my age group, it's not common for brothers to call the laws. So when we talk about so-called calling massa or weaponizing the system, who traditionally has a history of doing that? Look at family court, look at child support. If you're being terminated for violating ACA regulations, for saying something that you shouldn't have said, if that's so-called calling massa, then what do you call family court? What do you call child support court? Because I'm pretty sure if a man can't pay child support, he get locked up. If a woman can't pay child support, she get help. So who really tied in with massa? You know, there's so many brothers that hang around in the red pill space that are against the red pill. They're against it. Some of them are just looking for content to make. Some of them are looking to make a buck. And sometimes I sit back and I think, and I watch some of these videos and I can't help but feel like,
Fuck is you doing? Fuck is you proving? Fuck is you doing? Bitch ass nigga, fuck is you doing? Fuck is you proving? Fuck is you doing? Bitch ass nigga, fuck is you doing? Fuck is you proving? Fuck is you doing?
all right. Oh man, I be sitting there, I'm like, bro, I can get if you getting your Derek Jackson on, bro. I get it. You want to get your, what is this dude named Poppy Chulo or some shit? Okay, I can see if you trying to get that on, but at the same time, I literally look at my phone, I see TikTok videos, and they're like, you know, the black woman is God. Bro, man, check this out. I saw a brother who, now, I don't know if this brother was an El Rukin. I don't know if he was a part of the Shea Butter Brigade or what, but this brother said, black woman is God. In the beginning, there was only her. There was nobody else but her. And at some point, they came from a planet in some other galaxy. And I was like, bro, that's exactly why everybody shouldn't have access to the internet. Because you have people saying stupid shit like that. Like, we literally have real work that needs to be done out here. For me, being somebody who trains, bro, a large part of my team are brothers. And I can tell you, I've personally grown brothers to over 6 figures. Personally, spent years with these brothers. I said it on the stream a while back. All of these brothers that get to that 6-figure mark, these brothers are not obliterating their homes. They're not leaving those women. So even though the current narrative is that brothers get on and then they leave you for a white girl, brothers get on and they leave their families, bro. I haven't seen one of these brothers, and I'm in the double digits now, of brothers that I've grown from being hourly brothers, get to the 6-figure mark, and I've never seen them, oh yeah, man, I got divorced. I got a new girlfriend. I've never seen them do anything like that. Brother Alan Obi, what's going on, brother? I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through, bro. I appreciate that shout out early too. But I've never seen these brothers get to that 6-figure mark and then decide that they're going to leave their families. I've yet to see it. Never. These brothers are going hard in the paint. These brothers are going hard for their families, man. And when they make it there, they are investing back into those households. I seen a brother go from living in the budget suites to moving into a D.R. Horton home, moving into Alcatel homes, nice homes, man, for their families. I have them saved as friends on social media, and I'm seeing that they're buying their kids the nice kicks. You know, they're capitalizing on tax-free weekend. They're doing this stuff for their families, man. A lot of times they don't even do anything for themselves. A year or two in, after getting to 6 figures, they may get themselves a new pickup truck, or they may get themselves a new car. I've seen brothers that go from being temps, come in and start making a respectable hourly wage. And over the years, now these brothers are salaried brothers. And I've yet to see them take that increase in pay and completely pull a rug from underneath those sisters. A lot of them they weren't even married yet. They get that bump in pay, and they double back and they marry these sisters, as they should. That is what my experience has been. And I've been doing this long enough. I've been in this particular field for 10 years. I've been in this industry for over 20. And I have yet to see a brother start making more money and leave his family. Does it happen? I'm pretty sure it happens. In my experience, has it happened? Nope. Those brothers start making money and it goes right back into that household. I've seen brothers upgrade those sisters' engagement rings. They're living their life for those families. And that's one of the reasons why I say all sisters are not bad, bro. You know, just like all brothers are not bad. The stats say otherwise when it comes to us. And I work with these brothers every day in 2 different states, in 2 different sites. So I'm telling you what I know. But when it comes to these guys that come into the red pill space, Gail, I appreciate you, sister. As always, hardest working woman in YouTube, man. But when it comes to some of the guys that come into the red pill space and they take content that is really meant to give brothers another way to think about this stuff. Because another thing that we understand is brothers get in this red pill rage stage. And I think that has to be corrected by brothers who have been through it and kind of taken the steps and invested the time to get through it so that you could actually get to the work. You can get to being productive. You can get to having productive conversations. It's hard to have productive conversations, bro, when you still sour about a relationship that broke up 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. And the only reason why it lasts that long is because you haven't found the right red pill channel yet. You haven't found the right manosphere channel yet to get that shit out of your system. Because as long as you're feeling that way, bro, there's no productivity that can occur. You don't have the mental capacity to do it yet. You don't have the emotional maturity to do it yet. My brother Charles Finney, what's going on, brother? But anytime I see brothers come over here and they try to sow dissent amongst brothers in the manosphere or amongst brothers in the red pill space, I'm telling you, I immediately just...
Fuck is you doing? Fuck is you proving? Fuck is you doing? Bitch ass nigga, fuck is you doing? Fuck is you proving? Fuck is you doing? Bitch ass nigga, fuck is you doing? Fuck is you proving? Fuck is you doing? Bitch ass nigga, fuck is you doing? Fuck is you proving? Fuck is you doing? Bitch ass nigga.
Oh, my brother Rob say, I feel you because I'm not with the fresh and fit dudes. They gone. Yeah, bro, you know, there are times when the king of R&B, yeah, bro, that dude, he the GOAT, man. You know, with fresh and fit, man, I've seen times where they offer some information that is helpful, like, but it's not so much on that Fresh and Fit channel now. Myron runs a channel called Fed It, where he takes cases and he breaks them down from the of someone who was an officer for Homeland Security, which is what his profession was before that channel took off. Now, a lot of the information there is really useful. It's entertainment, but it's useful to understand exactly how authorities work through a lot of these cases, especially the RICO cases. So that information is helpful, but when it comes to the actual channel, you have a lot of young guys who are absorbing that information. You have guys who are in that red pill rage stage, and they really just want to see the women make a fool out of themselves. Now, common sense would tell you that these women are drunk, you know, they're inebriated. So the wise thing to do would be to, you know, okay, if it's for entertainment and you listen to it to get a laugh, okay, cool. But that is not something that you should take deep into your spirit, run out into the street and start spewing the same talking points. Sometimes we have to be able to differentiate between entertainment and then differentiate between things that will actually help, things that will actually benefit you in your day-to-day life. If you're in that red pill rage stage, things that will actually help you get through it. And it doesn't happen overnight, but if you watch the right content and you reach out to brothers, a lot of us talk to brothers offline, man. You go to my YouTube page, my email is there. A lot of brothers, you go to their pages, their email is there, their Instagrams are there. Reach out to those brothers, bro. And if they are a righteous brother, as they should be, especially putting our face out on this public platform, if you are a righteous brother, then why wouldn't you help a brother that's struggling through this, especially if you've been through it before? Why wouldn't you lend a helping hand to a brother? Because the truth of the matter is, when you look at the self-deletion rates among men, man, that is definitely something that that is a service that a lot of us can offer. Perspective, life experience. Hey, this is where I messed up at, bro. I know you may see us doing this YouTube thing, bro, but we human just like anybody else, bro. This is where I messed up. If you ever watched that Red Pill Fathers stream that Dr. Tia Son Johnson did, you'll see that my story got dark. But part of growing up rough, growing up in the hood, playing the dozens, being the short, fat kid, short, chubby kid, having thick skin, those are the things that kind of got me over. But everybody doesn't have that kind of background, especially in an environment that is extremely PC right now. And anytime I start to feel like I need to recharge my battery, a lot of times I consume content that's pretty much kind of like this.
Man, I done fuck around and caught the motherfucking fuck around and caught the monkey. Fuck right off the fucking
A men's conference.
A man okay.
I'm a motivational speaker, you know.
Yeah, you know I know about you. You know, I see you read up today.
Your color's red.
Okay, cool. I see you, bro.
All right, stay in touch now.
Okay.
Daddy, his hair looks wet.
What the fuck? Oh my Lord Jesus. What in the...
Oh my god. Ginger? Oh! Hey!
Hey, Gail, I don't know if that was a perm. Like that baby say, his damn hair look wet. Jesus Christ. You know, the funny thing about that and what made me save that video, I grew up with a dude like that in my neighborhood, man. He ran a gas station, dude named Joe. And he was long past even having enough hair to put a perm on. And what he would do, he would put shoe polish. He would draw his line up with shoe polish. And so his whole head was just shiny. He had maybe like 3 pieces of hair. And his whole head was basically shoe polish. Funniest shit I had ever seen. Them finger waves. Oh man. It was hilarious, man. You know, jumping back on topic, man. I've seen brothers come to this space and they've reached out and said, hey man, you know, is it possible that we can talk offline? I'm like, yeah, bro, that's cool. We can have a conversation online. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not different than anybody who's watching the stream right now, anybody who's consumed any of the content that I put out. I'm human just like anybody else. And I talk to these brothers, and a lot of times, a lot of them legitimately have a desire to get better or get useful information. But on occasion, I've run into some that really be on some.
That nigga picking them bitches up.
So for me, I've never looked at YouTube as a way to date or reach out and try to get in the sisters' DMs. That ain't never been my get down. But they got some brothers over here that's kind of on that tip too. In the spirit of getting better and growing, brothers, one of the things that I've began to do, of course, is learn another language. So I do speak Portuguese, not fluently at the time, but I can listen to a sentence and understand exactly what it is that they're talking about. My one of the goals that I have for myself before the end of the year is to become fairly fluent in it. So I practice that every day. Normally, I try to do a good 30 minutes of it. Like our sister Courtney Michelle said, hey, what's going on with that? Why are you learning that? Well, you know, the Passport Bros really have a good case for why it is that they're doing what they're doing. Like I explained on Brother Obi's channel the other night, you know, when you do all of this work and you think about this, how many brothers make over 6 figures? And a lot of these Passport Bros, a lot of them do. You are not only competing against other brothers, you're competing against every race, you're competing against every educational background, you are competing against work experience, you are competing against people on an open market where you're compensated for competency. That is what this market looks like in large metropolitan cities. So to go out and do this work, and I'm somebody who's gone out and done this work, it's hard. You sacrifice a lot. You miss out on things, right? So for the brothers who are saying, hey man, we need some kind of, we're looking around and we're seeing that we're getting the same feedback than Pookie. We're getting the same feedback as Ray Ray. Are we getting treated as if we are Pookie and Ray Ray? When I've went out here and I've competed against every other race, every other gender, every other gender pronoun, whatever the case may be. I've went out in this world and I've competed. And I've turned myself into something. And now I want to be able to share years of hard work with a sister, and there are none that are around. And the good ones are, I'm telling you, the good ones are not as common as a lot of people may think. Some of them are good to a certain type of guy. And for those of us who have got ourselves to the position that we earn more than the average man in general across any kind of race demographic, we don't lead with our wallets as like a lot of people would think. These guys aren't dummies. These guys aren't fools. We understand that there are times when I wouldn't even drive my car. I'll drive my truck. My lifted Ram 2500, I drive my truck. I won't wear jewelry, you know? And then at other times I want to go out and have a nice steak dinner, and I'm gonna pull all the jewelry and the toolery out. So, but for those brothers who go out and do that, and a lot of times they have situations where, you know, they've made it through bad relationships where they have children. And a lot of times you'll find them and they'll make videos that are kind of like this.
You're chilling, you know what I'm saying? I'm thugged out, nigga, but I just seen a motherfucking rainbow, nigga. I ain't that motherfucking thugged out, nigga. That shit beautiful than a motherfucker. My baby mama probably at the end of that bitch with a gold digging ass, nigga.
Oh, man. I'm trying to get better at rolling some comedy into the show, bro, because a lot of these topics, they can get really, really deep, and they can get, sometimes it can trigger certain things in people, you know. Now, this is a male-dominated page. This is a male-dominated space, and my goal for being here is to, of course, have it open for everybody, but I also want to make sure that I can take any of my experiences, whether it be as somebody who works in leadership at the director level, whether it can be somebody who has been through the child support system. Thank the man above. I've never been on child support no longer than she was pissed off, and I immediately get taken off because I take care of business. But I want to open myself up so that my life experience can help a brother make it through to the next phase of whatever their growth is, or to get out of that really dark place. Because being a man in this world and having to go out and compete against brothers who have solid family structures. Imagine you coming from a broken family structure or a broken cultural structure. And you have to go out in the world and compete with people who have everything lined up, and it's going to support them, and it's going to push them to go out and compete. Now, if you're coming from a situation where you've been up all night arguing with your baby mama, or you coming from a situation where you're taking care of everybody in your family and everybody see you as a resource, nobody's really doing nothing, how in the hell can you keep up with somebody who has a mother who makes sure they're taken care of, a father who makes sure that they're taken care of, a wife that makes sure they are taken care of, kids that make sure that they're taken care of? You're fighting a losing battle, but what I can tell you is for somebody like me, I was like, shit, this is just a whole new hustle. How do I get out here and get it? Now, I am blessed beyond measure that I figured out what I was really good at naturally. And that's how I've been able to, you know, that's how I've been able to make some moves. But for our brothers, not so much. Where my frustration comes in at is when I tell brothers, hey, I've done the work, bro. I can tell you all the pitfalls, bro. I can tell you where you're going to get tripped up at, bro. And they kind of blow it off like, and immediately I'm sitting there looking like, bro, I have all the game to give you, bro. Whenever you go in and you apply for a job and you got to sit down and have that interview, you can reach out to a brother like me, do a consultation, and we'll go through and do as many mock interviews as we need to make sure you answer the right questions, right? You can do a consultation, send me your resume, bro. Let's see what you got. No, that resume ain't good enough. Go to this webpage, pay these $2 that they're going to put back on your debit card, on your prepaid card. And this is what your resume should look like. After you do that, send me your resume. I'll go through it. And keep in mind, I do this. I'll go through it. And then we'll go back and forth so that you can nail that interview, bro. And so you can get from making $15 an hour. You can get out of making $20 an hour. You can get out of making $25 an hour. You can get over that $30 an hour mark. Hey, let's get you salary. These are the things that I do every day. They pay me to do this, bro. And when those opportunities aren't taken, I sit there and I look at it like,
is you doing? Fuck is you proving? Fuck is you doing? Bitch ass nigga, fuck is you doing? Fuck is you proving? Fuck is you doing? Bitch ass nigga, fuck is you doing? Fuck is you proving? Fuck is you doing? Bitch ass nigga.
All right, Ice JJ Fish. Coach Lamont, what's going on, brother? Glad you're here, bro. Appreciate you swinging by. Brother Rob, I'm gonna have your side hurting before it's all said and done, man. I didn't even load up all of my all of the videos. So between the videos and between the soundboard,
You didn't go to the Bilderberg meeting in Switzerland that we held under an iceberg, brother.
between the soundboard and the videos, man, I'm trying to make this thing a little bit more entertaining. You know what I mean? But of course, the link is. I appreciate you dropping the link, Gail. Beautiful sister, man. You know what? Another thing I touch on too. You know, women in the manosphere. There are so many women in the manosphere, man, that come in, listen, and learn, and they take the information that is put out and they put it into their own lives to get the results that they want. But while they are here, they add so much value, bro. Add a shit ton of value. And those are sisters that I will go to bat for every chance I get. I go to bat for them every chance I get. You think about the Luke Hazley. Luke Hazley puts out content that really teaches women how to be a better mate to their husbands, or you know, how to be better to the men that they're with. You look at sisters like Gail who talk about the experiences of Black men, right? Her experiences, you know, and the love goes both ways. I remember when Gail first got monetized, man, you saw all the brothers from the manosphere over there supporting, and that's the way that it should be. And you know, keep in mind, we know who the chameleons are, you know. But Brother Dennis Sperling said something that was really profound and something that was actually pretty smart and pretty intuitive. He said, we know who the chameleons are, but they're still pushing the message. So they don't necessarily have to be a friend of the manosphere, but they are allies of the manosphere. So if you read The Order of War, I'm pretty sure that makes a lot more sense. But for those sisters who are not chameleons and they are here to really soak up and listen to brothers, to understand family members, to understand the men that they may be interested in their own lives, to understand, hey, you know what? For the longest, we've been telling Black men that they need to talk. And when we get on this platform and we express ourselves or we express our experiences, they just listen. Beautiful thing about the manosphere. I remember watching a show, I think it was like one of those crime shows, and they actually had a section talking about the manosphere. They didn't specifically call out the Black manosphere, but they called out the manosphere. And they had a dry erase board up and they said, hey, yeah, this is an online group. It's called the manosphere. And they basically threw the manosphere under the bus. And this is on a prime show. This is like Law and Order or something like that. And they rolled in the manosphere into this show and tried to throw it under the bus. Shit, statistics be damn. Not even looking at the rate that brothers are taking themselves out. And not just brothers, men in general. The rate that they're taking themselves out. See, but this is the dangerous thing about what a lot of liberals don't understand. Judge Joe Brown said something that's very interesting. He asked a question. He said, what is the most apex predator on the face of this earth? And you guys may have heard me mention this in another stream, but he said, what is the most apex predator on the face of this earth? The most apex predator walking the face of the earth is man. You look at the shit we do to each other. You look at what we do to other countries. And this liberal ideology and as tight as the squeeze is on men, heterosexual men specifically, you have so many guys who are already socially awkward. You have so many guys, look at how many virgins it is. As somebody who's not one, you know, I don't. There are certain things that these brothers go through that I can't relate to because I started earlier than I probably should have, but that's a whole other stream. But you have brothers who have not had the opportunity to feel the warmth of a woman yet, or to feel the release that comes with being with a woman. And these folks, when you twist them enough or you compress them enough, you start getting school shootings. You start getting weird shit that happen. You start getting Amber Alerts and shit. These are the people that are a part of our society that oftentimes we wonder, why is this stuff happening? These are sometimes the incels. These are sometimes the gamers who sit in a dark basement and throw joysticks and shit when they get killed in Call of Duty. This is stuff that is actually happening. We had a situation where I was a part of a job fair. And in this job fair, there were two things that really stood out. The first thing that stood out was the number of women that were there, the number of Black women specifically that were there. And I looked around and I was like, man, it's a lot of studs in here. It's a lot of sisters with the loud colored wigs and weaves and the tattoos and the piercings in here. I looked around, I said, man, there are a lot of incels in here. And when I sat down and I interviewed these people, and I'd shake these guys' hands and their hands are sticky from sweating because they're nervous about the interview. They had guys show up and they don't have the right attire on to actually go through and do an interview. I'm like, bro, you have on Vans, cargo shorts, and a tank top. That is not how you interview for what we do, because you can't even wear that inside of the site where I'm at. And I would give these folks opportunities to go back home and change. Hey, man, when you come back, you don't have to wait in line. You can skip. I know, I'll recognize you. Matter of fact, on your way back, stop at FedEx, print out your resume. Have a hard copy of it. It being on your phone is not helping me, bro. And it's inconvenient for me for you to email it to me and then for me to pull it up on the laptop. No, bro, come prepared. Because the brother that's two people behind you, this little Indian guy, he has everything he needs. And he ready to interview right now, brother. So the stuff that I do in my real life, I'm trying to take that and put it on this platform so that it adds value and so that it helps at least somebody. That is my whole goal for being here. That is my whole goal. I had a stream, the previous stream that I did before this one, and it said content creation versus like entertainment or something like that. And I was really taking these ideas that were in my head and I was putting them out so that I can go back and listen to that, man, over time to really understand and to really check myself and say, hey, bro, what is your whole goal for being here? What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to do? I really don't touch on relationship stuff too much because, my goal is to try to get brothers for those that thinking that they may not be able to make it or they're in a situation where they can't figure out a way to get out of it. Hey, man, reach out, bro. It's all good. I'm 6'3", 290 pounds, bro. Play left tackle. I can do all that good shit. I still got a hell of a kick slide. I can still pull, I can still pull as a pulling lineman. I can do all of that stuff. But all of that to the side, as big as I am, for all of the accomplishments and the accolades that I've been able to pull off in my life, I'm human just like any of you brothers, bro. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to tap in. Hey, man, this is what I got going. This is the situation I'm going through. Hey, man, do you know anything about this? I'm thinking about making a change career-wise. What do you think about this? Hey, man, I just met this female, man, and she did this. Or I just met this female, bro, and so on and so forth. Big Bad Bull, what's going on, brother? So, I want to make sure that, okay, Super Chat just came through, saw you on different panels, keep dropping gems. I appreciate that, man. With the skill set that I've been blessed to be trained and do, man, we do a lot of times what's called a 5 why analysis. So if I were to do a 5 why analysis, and this is how I'm telling y'all that I could have easily blew this channel up as it relates to relationships, but I don't think that's my purpose of being here. Part of it, yeah, I've been through enough broken relationships, bro, to probably call out the situation pretty damn quick. But we do what's called a 5 why analysis. So if I said, hey, why don't relationships, so you say Black men and Black women aren't getting married. Do you do the first why? Why? They are on 2 different pages. Why? And you keep going and you do why 5 times. And by the time you get to that 5th why, a lot of times you are somewhere near the root cause of what is causing the actual issue. And that's an example of how I could use what I'm professionally trained to do in process improvement and roll it into entertainment as it relates to relationships. It will make a hell of a stream. But at the same time, am I really helping the cause? Am I helping the brothers get through what it is that they're going through? You know. Funny thing, I spoke with my boss earlier at this new site. I'm in Texas right now. I'll be going to Kentucky next week, but spoke with my boss. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm starting a podcast. I got to get you on it." I was like, "That's cool. That's cool. Sure." You know. Now, the super chat that just came through, I want to put that up and make sure that you're recognized, but I also don't want to, if you don't want your real name put up, I don't want to put it on blast like that. So just comment in the bottom if it's okay for me to add it up there, because I want to make sure you get recognized, or if it's not okay, let me know and I won't do it. But yeah, man. So there's a lot of different things that I've done throughout my adult career, and even in my younger life, I've done a lot of stupid shit too. So that's another reason why brothers can look out, bro. I don't want anybody to come to this channel and be like, "Oh man, hey man, that's Vince Turner. He's not going to understand my situation, bro." There's some videos that when I first started my channel, there's some videos that I had to pull down because I was I was going. I was putting a little bit too much out there, but I'm somebody who was a full-fledged Pookie and everything that come along with it. And not that it's something to be proud of, but Sasses. Okay. Hey brother, I appreciate that. I appreciate that super chat, man. And then anytime you guys see me up, and you have questions, bro, feel free to put them in the chat, or if you don't want it to be something that is visible to everybody, man, you have complete carte blanche to email it to me, bro. And if it's something that you want me to actually answer on live, I can. Or if it's something that you want me to answer behind the scenes in email, I can do that too. My goal is not to expose anybody's personal, anything that you ask me that is going to benefit you. My goal is not to put that information out. I'm real big on folks' privacy. So that is one of the reasons why I asked that question. But Gail, thank you so much, sister, for putting that link in. Anybody that want to call in, you have complete option of whether or not you want to call in. Like I said, chop it up. Any kind of topics that's on your mind, anything career related. When it comes to career-wise, I have been with my company a little under 10 years. And I have been in 7 positions in 10 years. So that go to show you how hard I've been pushing it over the years. I tried to resign, but they wouldn't let me. If you guys want me to run down that story, how I ended up getting the extra $50,000 from the company that I work for, I can do that also. There is a science to it. It is not going in sitting down like, "Hey, y'all owe me more money." That's not going to work. Matter of fact, we have a saying, whoever gets mad first loses. Whoever gets angry first loses. When it comes to getting increases, bro, it is all numbers based. You need to know exactly how you're being graded. You need to know where you're adding value. You need to know how much value you are adding. And you also need to be able to, if possible, you need to be able to quantify it. If you can do that, and you can actually show where you're adding value, there's a really good chance that you can increase your income. But if you go in, you sit down and you say, "Hey, I deserve a raise," and they say, "Why?" And you say, "Because I come to work every day." But coming to work every day is your job. And if I was that manager, I would literally sit back in my desk and be like,
"What did you do? What did you prove? What did you do? Bitch ass nigga, what did you do? What did you prove? What did you do? Bitch ass nigga."
All right, Ice JJ Fish. We got my brother Rob T. in the building. Of course, I'm gonna bring you up, brother.
How you doing? How you doing, sir?
What's going on, boss man? How you doing, brother?
Good, man. I'm actually glad to see you streaming, man. This was cool. This is good right here.
Yeah, brother. I had fell back from it for a little bit because I'm moving. Basically, I'm getting ready to rent out my home here in Texas. And then in the midst of course, trying to get everything situated here, I had to run up to Kentucky and get the living situation squared out up there and introduce myself to my new team, and then try to hurry up and get back because I have a brick and mortar down here also. So try to wrap up some things there. So it's been a busy month, brother. But knowing that tomorrow is Labor Day and knowing that a lot of people don't have to go in, I wanted to at least get on here and be visible and show my face and all that good stuff, brother. But I appreciate you calling in, bro. What's on your mind?
Yeah, that's good, man. No, I'm actually I'm glad that you especially being a brother that's had a lot of experience, that you're sharing your experience with a lot of the young brothers, because I'm around your age range, and as you know, 10, 20 years ago, it was just a different experience.
Yeah.
And I'm having to come to that realization when seeing a lot of younger brothers that you can't assume that they understand or know things that because it was a different experience 20, 25 years ago. But just on my mind, I'm hearing everything you're saying, and what I wanted to add to contribute to the conversation was,
sure,
for me, I'm a little older than you and like Obi, right? But I actually learned from you guys.
Right.
I consider myself a red pill student. I am a prodigy of a single mother household, which is majority of the Black community. And BGS has broke that down multiple times.
Absolutely.
On the Moynihan report, and kind of brought it forward as far as the timeline, etc. And I've heard, I heard, rest in peace, rest in power, Kevin Samuels. I've heard him talk about on Lapeef Let's Talk. I'm not a big fan of their channel, but he's talked about how there's a lot of us out here, because the thing about KS was he's very especially like OB and yourself and BGS, you guys are very multidimensional. You're not one-dimensional. So a lot of you brothers can talk in multiple categories, right? Like KS could talk about Star Wars to the nerdy brother, but he could talk about being an alpha to the slick brother. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was his his mantra and his ministry. But he said something very potent one time, and it resonated with me because I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, I'm a brother who grew up mostly around Caucasian people.
Right.
So a lot of this is not having a father. There's a lot of stuff is new to me. Even at the age of 44, it's new to me. So that's why I say I learned from you guys. But he said something that's potent, was that us in the, I guess the red pill, I have to say, is kind of so-called Black community, because they kind of believe that we're dissociated from that because of gynoscopy, according to BGS, which I feel what he's saying. It's potent on what you're saying, because there's not a place for us, right? Like Kevin Samuels has said this on Lapeef, it was real potent. He said, a lot of times we having a lot of conflicts because we don't have a place for brothers that are kind of nerdy, or brothers that may not be straight raised red pill, or may not be alphas, or may not have had a father. I mean, I consider you alpha. I don't know your background, but I consider you OB, be like alphas, right? So,
yes, sir.
So I'm trying to learn, because I wasn't that. I was, according to Kevin and BGS, a son husband.
Yeah.
So you got to understand the mindset and the mentality. You get caught up in stuff that you don't realize is not the right way.
Yeah.
And you have to literally learn or
unlearn sometimes.
Exactly. Talk yourself out of it, because you're like, wait a second. It's not right? But it's like you can't help it, because that's how have been neurologically reconditioned, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's like, I don't want to say purple pill, but I say like orange pill, that there's a lot of red pill students out here. And a lot of us are afraid to say that because it's unpopular, or we look weak, or we look like betas. But the thing is, we have to say that. We have to say that. We have to admit that. We have to be honest with that. We got to say, hey, look, we're betas. We're red pill students. We don't know.
Yeah.
We try to learn. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. And I think, like, you know, for a lot of the brothers out there, a lot of younger brothers, a lot of ones even my age, whatever, that are learning,
right?
Got to be okay with that. You got to step out and say, we learning. You know, we here. We need a place, right? Because, you know, ultimately, I think when you look at like some of the channels that talk about some of the issues, I mean, when you dig deeper, it's not completely our fault, but some of the issues is that we're embellishing some of this behavior.
Yeah.
You know, and we're not doing it because we know any better. We're doing it because that's how we've been trained, right? And it's not okay, but it's like be able to stand up and say, you know, that's me. I'm messing up.
Yep.
That's okay too. And
let me add on that real quick. So, you know, and this is one of the things that I talk about with brothers is that same grit that it took to get through college, or that same grit that it took to advance in whatever it is, you know, in whatever career field you're in, that uncertainty and sometimes that anxiety, it is important as men for us to get real comfortable being in that spot, because a lot of time for those of us who were raised as son husbands, or for those of us who were raised in single parent households, to unlearn a lot of that programming, especially to get the results that you were looking for out in the dating market, to unlearn that is sometimes an uncomfortable feeling. So it's important for us to get used to being uncomfortable, and for us to get used to being able to think with clarity when we are in those kind of spaces, or when we are in that type of minefield where it's like, all right, I really don't know which move to make, or I'm second guessing this decision that I'm about to make. On our end, for those of us who have figured it out, because I didn't always have it, right? There are things that like I said, I've been through broken relationships. I've been through the child support system. I've been through family court. I've been through all of these things. So on our end, in the spirit of iron sharpening iron, it's my job to be honest about that too, and say, bro, you don't have to feel like less of a person, or you don't have to feel like your manhood is threatened because you are trying to figure this thing out, because I've been there too. And I think when we're able to be honest and say that to each other, that at least opens it up so that there can be true dialogue between two brothers, and that iron begins to sharpen iron. Because if I sit here and I say, hey man, you know, I've been pimping since pimping been pimping, bro, you know, that's not really helping you. You need the information that you need is to be like, hey bro, let me know that you human too, that you've been through this shit too, or you understand what I'm dealing with. That way I feel more comfortable in, you know, hey, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm kind of dealing with. What is your advice on how to deal with this situation, or how would you handle this situation? So it's important for us, especially being content creators, and for those of us who are visible in a lot of different areas, it's important for us also to be like, yeah, bro, I've been through that shit too. I've been through it too, bro, man. And that's why I always try to make sure that I explain to guys, hey man, I am not perfect. I over the last couple of years, I've been able to really change my life as far as how much money I generate in my career field. But shit, I've been broke before too. You know, I've been evicted in my younger life too. You know, I've been a single parent before too. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that, you know, and for me, when I do the YouTube thing, I don't feel like a celebrity or anything. I don't feel like I'm better than anybody that's in the chat. I'm just a brother who want to help. You know what I mean? And I'm a brother that's gonna give it to you straight, because if I was in a situation where I needed information, I would hope that, you know, it would be fed to me straight. So that is a really important part of why I get on here and do this. But I didn't mean to interrupt what you were saying, bro. You can continue.
No, I mean, no, that was done to interrupt. I mean, I was just vibing with you, but yeah, I mean, so that's kind of like, you know, I'm just kind of being honest about, you know, where I'm kind of coming from, where my angle and kind of what I think kind of entered this space. Cause, you know, like you said earlier, there's a lot of what you call red pill rage, and you can get caught up in the wrong stuff. Cause that's what happened to me when I first entered the space. I was caught up in the fresh and fits, and thinking that like demeaning black women was the way it was supposed to be, which isn't true. I mean, I tell people, you know, especially being brothers, you wear different hats. You human. So some of the emotion that comes out is natural, but you have to be able to step back and be like, okay, I know I was being human and I was emotional, but that's not the right way to look at it. You know, don't shit on your people. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Don't shit on them just because you're emotional. That's a moment. That's not like that's not the terminal, you know what I'm saying, comprehensive or you know, aggregated issue. It's a moment. That's all it is. I mean, you're human. That's it. So, you know, listen, those guys, you are right though. Sometimes there are some good points they make. Unfortunately, it does get clouded by the rhetoric, by the actions of how, you know, certain women and women are treated on that channel, right? So I had to completely disassociate myself with that to get to like block them, don't look at none of their content, because it was leading to a place where it's easy to go left in the space, right? And I think like ultimately the escalation for a lot of you guys, like a lot of you brothers like you, Alan, BGS, is going to be a book or a pamphlet to kind of like let brothers know what to look for, how to navigate from micro to macro, like simple to more advanced, to where you can kind of spread it and it's more comprehensive. Because, you know, unfortunately, it's like you stated earlier about the Law and Order thing. You know, at some point they're going to come for us. You know, whether it be incidental, whether it be accidental, whether it be a setup. It already started to happen to KS before, you know, God rest his soul, he left. And to be able to have that literature is going to be, in my opinion, critical. And I'll just kind of digress and leave on that note.
Absolutely, bro. You know, when I started doing this, I thought about it long and hard, you know, and I said, you know, is this something that I'm willing to take everything that comes along with it? So one of the lessons that I learned extremely quick is that the same rules that I grew up with growing up in the projects, and we eventually moved out, but a lot of the rules that I grew up with don't necessarily translate to online. So I'll give you an example. For me, I've always felt like there's nothing that I would say online that I wouldn't say in person. And what I found was that that's not necessarily the case on YouTube. You know, you look in the comment section and you have people that are just going hard. Once I soaked that up, I was like, okay, I get that part. You know, people gonna say whatever they say in the chat, especially, and I'm on a lot of different panels, so a lot of time people are gonna say whatever they say, so I had to absorb that. But when it comes to the brothers that are in that red pill rage stage, man, I don't think a lot of people realize how dangerous that can be, because you have brothers who are frustrated, you have brothers who went out and did everything that they thought was the right thing to do, and at the end of the day, they're still men. They still have testosterone. They still have the propensity to exhibit violence. Not all of them, and it's probably not a vast majority of them, but there are some who aren't able to deal with such a high level of stress and such a high level, especially if when you involve deception, when they've been deceived by a woman, or they've been cheated by a woman, or they've been lied on by a woman. You know what I mean? And when you have situations like that, man, I think it is on us as content creators to be able to curb a lot of that stuff, so that whenever they come for us, then at least we know that we did some good by the time they make it, you know, PC to even mention the red pill, or they make it too PC to even mention the manosphere. So those are the things that I think about. I'm like, man, at the end of the day, if they come out and they say, hey, all manosphere channels got to shut down, and I'm just using that as a far-fetched example. If they come out and say, yeah, you guys can't touch on none of those topics, okay, then what's the next platform we're moving to? You know? But up until that happens, my main goal, and that's one of the reasons why I don't necessarily focus on relationships so much, but one of my main goals is to make sure I'm helping brothers the whole time I'm here. And when I say brothers, I'm just talking about men in general. My page is a little bit more geared towards you know, black, brown, African brothers, just because of what my background is. But for men across the board, because one of the most eye-opening things to me is when I watched that, I want to say it was a show on Netflix called The Red Pill, where there was this feminist, and she went into the men's rights. You know, she went into this men's rights.
Yeah,
movement.
that documentary. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen that. Really great documentary. I would recommend any brother in here watch that documentary. It'll wake you up to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man. You know, when I watched that, now this was stuff that, you know, you kind of loosely heard about, but these aren't things that they were really talking about on the news. They would say that, oh yeah. You know, self-deletion rates are up, and they would kind of tie it to the economy or whatever, but they never really put it into perspective and said, hey man, these brothers are also going through divorce. Hey man, these brothers are losing in family court. Hey man, these brothers you know, are having half of their 401k taken away. They're having their savings wiped out. They never touched on any of that kind of stuff. And it's one thing I know is that when you have brothers dealing with that kind of shit, and they dealing with that kind of stress, and you know, and it's not a coincidence that as this stuff has been going on, you start getting, you know, mass shootings. You start getting, you know, people attacking schools and stuff. Like, bro, this is a territory that, for me, it's really apparent. You putting people under stress, and they also not, you know, having healthy relationships with women, because women have a special way of helping you get that shit off. But they're not having healthy relationships with women, man. We are playing with fire, bro. You're playing with an apex predator, and you know, and when you look at recent events, shit. I mean, these folks are highly efficient at doing a serious amount of damage, you know, and that is the part that, you know, I don't want to be in Walmart. Luckily, I'm in a gun carrying state. You shoot at something in Texas, somebody gonna shoot you back. But I don't want to be at Walmart, Target. You know, I'm in there trying to get some non-stick pans, and all of a sudden, you know, start ringing out inside of the Target. You know what I mean? And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing people reach their breaking point and take it out on the public, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, I would even pivot to, so one of the things that I think a lot of brothers, especially younger ones, need to understand is that, like, a lot of this stuff is propagated through the entertainment. Mm-hmm. And the thing is it's very extremely deeply subconscious. Mm. And you will see, especially young black men, especially in this Hollywood game, they are emasculating us in silent.
Absolutely.
And you will see, like, I mean, especially now, like, I mean, no disrespect to the LBGT community, but I don't get down that way. And I don't mean that from perspective or just personal. I'm just saying that, like, all love to you, but we can agree to disagree on our lifestyles. So just want to put that out there real quick.
I share your sentiments, brother.
Yeah. So right now, that's a big thing in Hollywood. Black men, they want to kind of make us the homosexual one in the entertainment, the show or whatever it is, right? And they bring in forward, and BGS broke this down, you know, several times, you know, the white woman, how she was able to get the benefits of civil rights, but they put it in our face. They're doing it in a lot of this content. And I'm only saying that because a lot of young brothers won't understand that, like, a lot of the struggle too is subconscious. They plant it in us. And when you watch an entertainment, you got to understand that we don't have our guard up. We just sit there absorbing it. Like it's basically innocent. Yeah. So I only want to make that point just to say that to them, because you got to be careful what you see and what your ears hear. Okay. Because that over time, your unconscious mind doesn't know any different. Okay. And whatever in you is going to come out. Whether that be through rage or whether that be through just subliminal or, you know, neurological reconditioning over time, you know, through via gradualism, what have you. And, you know, you just got to be very careful with that, because a lot of us really should have our faces in books, reading, developing our minds, our emotions. That should be like 70-60% of our life, not this other stuff that we see. I mean, we're human, so of course we got fun, and sometimes you're gonna listen to music. I get it, but that shouldn't dominate us, because that was a big, I'm just gonna be honest, that was a big thing in my life. I had to come out of that a long time ago and still struggle with some of that today. But my point is that if I can help any brothers understand some of this like little game that they kind of throw, you're gonna be a lot better off. And I'm gonna go ahead and part on that.
I got you, brother, man. I appreciate all of your feedback and all of your wisdom that you're putting out, man. A lot of brothers have a lot of experience that a lot of times they may not feel like, especially if you're not a content creator. A lot of times brothers may feel like, oh man, I really don't have anything to contribute to anybody else. I have I have something that I want to speak on, or I may want to contribute to the stream, but far too many times there are a lot of brothers in the chats, or a lot of brothers who come back and watch this stuff after the fact, and it helps. It helps. So I appreciate you calling in, brother, and I appreciate you absolutely, definitely lending an ear and lending some experience to this stream, because you never really know who you help when you put this information out or when you put your experience out there. So I'm humbled and greatly appreciative for you calling in, brother.
Yeah, definitely. Which, thank you, man. Keep doing your thing, man. We need you, man. All right.
Absolutely, brother. I will keep pushing it as long as I can until the good Lord say different, brother. You have a good night, brother.
All right, fam. All right.
All right. Appreciate brother Rob T for calling in, man. That's a good brother. He I've seen him in the space and contributing to other panels and stuff like that, man. And for anybody who's watching this after the fact, and if you are in a space where you feel like, you can contribute, by all means, don't second guess. Don't get inside of your own head, because your experiences may save a brother's life more than you know. And it's one of the things that even I had to really realize how much this stuff is helping other brothers really get a lot of stuff out of their system that may be bothering them. In true form, we're gonna roll back over some of the videos that we touched on earlier for anyone who may have missed them. But where these videos come from, and I have quite a few other ones, but where these videos come from is I want to be able to put in commercial breaks during the stream. So if I need to, run and use the bulkhead, or if I need to stretch real quick, I want to try to make sure that I roll in some entertainment in here also. I'm gonna roll this video, and then I'm gonna come back and touch on what Brother Rob talked about in the sense of the alphabet community, some of the ideology that our sisters have bought into, and why that's a disconnect between, where that disconnect occurs between black men and black women. But in the meantime, we're gonna check out Brother Umar.
What the fuck? Oh my Lord Jesus. What in the...
Oh my God. Ginger? Oh! Hey!
Last topic that we're going to touch on, and this may be somewhat of a spinoff from We Need to Talk and Brother Obi's channel. From what I've experienced in dating and mating, when you think about the alphabet community and how it affects the dynamic between black men and black women, on more than a few occasions, I've experienced meeting a sister who she's been cool, but maybe her best friend is of that community, or her ideologies lean really heavy towards that community. I've been asked a question, hey, what if your children, if we had children together, what if they decided to lean that way? How would you take it? And for the average straight black brother of a certain age, we lean a lot more conservative than we put, a lot of times than we put out. Right now, with everything being so PC, you really are hard pressed to get brothers to even just speak with any kind of clarity or really state their position and stand on it. Because brothers have a livelihood to maintain, they have jobs, they have careers. So a lot of times they're afraid to put those things on the line just for the sake of being right in the conversation, or just for the sake of having open dialogue. But from what I've seen in my personal life and what I've seen even career-wise, a lot of the high-performing brothers are traditionally more conservative. I've yet to run across a brother that makes $100,000-$300,000 a year, and he's been hyper-liberal. Maybe it's because of where I'm located down in the South, or some people consider Texas Midwest. This is the South, bottom of the map, right before Mexico, man. You can't get more South than this, but and these are brothers that I'm talking about. These are black guys that earn that much money. They traditionally lean a lot, very conservative. Not saying that they stuck up, and not saying that they are, they Baptist priests or anything like that, but they lean a lot more conservative than they do liberal. And a lot of them really won't even have a conversation with you. They'll just kind of feel you out. And I'm talking to the sisters, they'll feel you out. And if you lean a little bit more that way, they'll kind of back off. That's a little bit too much for me. Last night, or maybe the night before, when we were on We Need to Talk, there was a sister in the chat. And she made sure, she was like, what? Somebody flew this guy out? Yeah, somebody flew this guy out. I don't know about that. Well, you don't have to know about it. Because one of the things that I can tell you, this is the same sister that was making fun of the brothers in the chat that make $80,000 a year. When $80,000 a year is nothing to scoff at. I remember when I first got to making $80,000 a year, I was beside myself. I was excited. I was happy because I had figured it out, and I know that that's not where I was going to remain for a long time. But it's one of the problems in our culture, and it's one of the disconnects between black men and black women. Is our sisters are picking men based on the wrong thing. You're looking at that brother that got the dreads, or he got the twists and they blonde at the tip. He got the skinny jeans on. He got the big ass Yeezys on. He drive a Scat Pack, or he drive a Hellcat. Looking at that shit when really the brother that's really bringing in $250,000 just walked by you. He doesn't have a wedding band on. He has on a work uniform, or he may have on a work polo, and you never even thought twice about it. The guy that could change the trajectory of your life just walked by, and you never even noticed because you're looking at the wrong shit. But you go out and get the guy that got the skinny jeans, the new Yeezys in the Hellcat or the Scat Pack. You get with him, he's fun and excited. You can show him off to your homegirls. You procreate with him and then wonder why the shit don't work. He showed you where his priorities were when you met him. And I'm not saying that that particular archetype is all bad. What I'm telling you is the brothers that y'all so-called want, the brothers that take care of all the bills, you walk past them every day and you never even notice them because you don't know what to look for. Because far too many didn't like what Kevin was saying when he was here, God rest his soul. But if you listen to what it is that he was saying, he basically gave y'all the cheat code. He gave you the recipe. And because the message wasn't in a way that you wanted it, that doesn't mean that the medicine don't work. You know, even for my own sister, when we had these conversations, she wants to go back and forth. And if you're watching, sis, I love you, but you're still wrong as shit. A lot of times when I would talk to my sister, and I'm literally trying to give her the game, like, hey man, listen, this is the way this thing go. The guy that she wants, your brother is this guy. I lean a lot more traditional. I take care of everything because that is, because I have certain things that I believe that I should be in control of and I should be able to take care of. And in order to get the results that I want from the person that I'm with, these are the things that I take care of because I need you to take care of these other things. But sisters walk past these guys every day, never even know it. But what I can honestly say is there are other races of women that know exactly what to look for. And if they have any kind of inkling or any kind of suspicion, they'll at least start the conversation. And then the conversation eventually evolves into, so what do you do? You know, they're not exchanging social media. They're trying to get phone numbers, or they handing their phone number. So while our sisters are busy playing, oh, I can give you my IG. These Hispanic women, they're not doing that. The white women, they're not doing that. Asian women, Vietnamese women, they're not doing that. They're giving that number and saying, hey, text me. And then starting from there, and they rocking and rolling. So these are some of the things that occur that are causing a rift between brothers and sisters. Brother Obi has a just cause. He has a just cause. He's trying. But when that brother get tired, then what? Who else is going to pick up the mantle and run with it? Because what I can tell you is, even in the spirit of trying to bring couples together, that brother is still giving y'all some accurate information. He's still asking the right questions. He's still giving the right feedback. One of the worst places that women can get advice from is for some of these con artists that are on TikTok. A lot of times they older women. Kevin told y'all that y'all are after the same demographic of men. You don't think they're looking for men to pay all of their bills too? They kids growing out the house. They're trying to run that back. It's time to travel. It's time to turn up. Look at your aunties. Look at your mama's friends. They looking for young dudes with some paper to take care of them too. They're not looking for old guys. They 40, 50, they looking for 30, 35, 40. And I'm not sponsored by Mountain Dew, so I should have hit that can, but so when we think about the dynamics between black men and black women and the reasons why it don't work, it was so disheartening to see all these sisters supporting this damn therapist, man. It was clear and apparent to a lot of us how wrong she was. And to get in the comments and see Dr. whatever, and it's a black sister. Attorney such and such, and it's a sister. Such and such Esquire, and it's a sister. I'm a therapist too, girl. Leave them alone. They dusty. Leave them alone. They don't want to heal. Nah, bitch, we're not listening to y'all at all. That ship has sailed. Boys not listening to their mama no more. They listening to us. Those who have been through it too, they're listening to us because we're going to give it to them straight. No chaser. I appreciate everybody joining the stream. That's all I got for y'all tonight. Not quite. We got my brother Tassus in here, brother. I'm not okay. We're keeping the stream going. I appreciate you calling in, brother. I'm gonna add you to the stream real quick.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, good brother?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, hold on. Let me turn you down a little bit.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to come on here and say, hey, look, I'm a young guy, right? I'm 26.
Yes, sir.
Getting ready to get up out of the military. Just finally got myself a nice little job working cybersecurity, making that 6 figures, right? So
yes, sir.
Here we go, right? I just wanted to say, like, real talk, like what you were talking about, like for all the women who are just kind of like, really supporting what that therapist was saying, like that stuff is disheartening, right? Especially like for me, like I grew up, saw both my mom and my dad, they worked together in the same house and everything like that, right? Grew up in Chicago. My dad's black, my mom's black. We work together, right? But like you were talking about earlier, coming from like a broken culture,
right? That's
something that I'm seeing, and like I remember the first time I heard about like the SYSBM and like the passport bros and stuff. I was like, man, these guys are crazy. Then I started thinking back to like some of the chicks that I've dealt with before, and like whenever I try to make it a little bit more serious, and I'm like, hey, okay, look. I'm trying to start up a family and everything like that, right? I'm trying to continue, right? you know, they just kind of like bow out, or you know, they're just not they're not for that. And like at this point, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, man, I don't necessarily even know if I want to deal with any of that. I'm seeing like the way that y'all are like celebrating, downing like the successful guys, and then you turn around, you call us all types of, you know, gay
Like
and
Dusties and
dusty and whatnot. I'm like, man, I could like real life change your whole life, and you have no idea.
Right. Those degrees, man, a lot of times they go to their head, bro, and they miss out on the most productive brothers that our society has to offer, man. You know, I know so many brothers that, like I was saying just a minute ago, that make well over 6 figures, bro. These guys are, you know, 130, 40, 50, 60, 170, 180, 200, 225. You know what I mean? And they look over these guys, or they have this vitriol towards these brothers when they haven't done anything to them. They've been working their whole life. These guys haven't done anything to you, you know. And I would even venture to say you've never even dated these type of guys because you don't know how to land them. And when we come out and we have these conversations, and we have brothers like yourself that are over 6 figures, you have brothers like me that are over 6 figures, you have brothers like Blockavelli that are over 6 figures. All of these brothers, because at first the narrative was black men are broke, and then the numbers come out and say otherwise, and then they move the goalpost. Well, 100,000 really ain't nothing. Oh, okay. The truth of the truth of the matter is you don't want to compete. You've been told there's a lie that you're supposed to just exist and you're supposed to be able to land these brothers. No, sis, don't work like that. It don't work like that. These brothers have sacrificed a lot, bro. You think about it, being in the military, bro, you literally put your life on the line, whether you've been deployed or not. Damn it, I was on the scrolls to go. You know what I mean? And there's something to be said about a brother who goes out in this world as a black man and figure out how to reel in a 6-figure salary. That's not something that you're supposed to get without any kind of effort, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. Then, you know, I just don't know, right? Because on one hand, right? Again, I saw my mom and my dad, right? They're still together, right? They've been together for, I don't know, like, well, I'm 26, so 27 years, right?
Bless
They've
them,
been
bless
together
them.
27 years, right? And you know, and that wasn't normal, at least like growing up in Chicago, right? You didn't have a lot of like you know, connected families, I guess, right? You know,
Right.
you had a lot of people like single mothers and whatnot, and you know, I just never understood like kind of like where people were coming from, but I tried to. But like looking at what my mom and what my dad has in my mom, right? I'm like, damn, I want that, right? But it's just so freaking hard to get that out of like some of the chicks, or fuck, most of the chicks that you know, like that you see. And then, you know, and it's not even like, you know, like you're just going after everybody, or you know, you're only going after one certain type of chick or anything like that. It's like, man, I like whoever likes me, but
right,
like on one hand, I'm like, damn, I kind of don't want to just like leave the community just to die, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm like, damn, the community, like you can't help nobody who don't want to be helped.
Exactly, brother. I'm gonna give you some advice that I wish that I had adopted a little bit early on. And that is, we're at a time now where, and I know what your hang up is. You want to be able to have melanated little copies of yourself running around to make them as productive as you can make them, and give them a better upbringing than you had, and give them the 2-parent household. But liberal ideology in college has done, and social media has done a number on our counterparts. So what I would say, brother, is put yourself and your wants and your happiness at the forefront of everything that you're doing, man. Now, maybe that means you with a sister that, or you with a woman that is not of our race. Maybe that means you with a woman that is melanated, and maybe she's from Africa or South Africa, or she's from South America, whatever the case may be. And I'm somebody who I was always like, man, because I was raised to be race loyal. You know what I mean? I was raised to be race loyal. But when you look at how they celebrated Brother Kevin's death, and you look at how sisters are doubling down on what this therapist did, and how many sisters are doubling down on it. And if you are a thinking man and you read the tea leaves, you know, you have to do what is best for you. And for those of us who really love the melanated, dark brown, mocha, paper sack, love the sisters in that way, then that may mean that the sisters that that we procreate with, marry, and try to build these long-lasting families where they may not come from our community, because our community is pretty tattered right now, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's a tough pill to swallow too. Even when I came to the realization, I was like, shit.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was
Yeah.
It was crazy because I was watching Angry Man stream the other day, and like he said something about it, and then he played that Kanye West track "Runaway,"
Mm-hmm.
and I sort of got it. I was in my car on my
Mhm.
way to work, and I was listening to that on repeat, and I was just thinking about that over and over and over again. And I was like, man, maybe there's actually like something to that, because I saw what happened whenever you know, God rest his soul, Kevin passed.
Yeah.
I saw what happened. I saw people I went to high school with and everything like that, like celebrating, and I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I was like, man,
Mm-hmm.
this is how y'all really think.
Yep. That is it's a tough pill to swallow, brother. And a big part of it is, you know, the programming that we grow up with. You know what I mean? If they can't use your comb, don't bring them home, that type of thing. But if I'm being honest, you know, I can honestly say that I've had an opportunity to be with a woman who checked just about every box that that I had as it relates to relationships, but I didn't capitalize on that opportunity because she wasn't black. You know, so for the younger brothers, man, I'm like, bro, seeing what we're seeing now, and social media has made it so that just about any woman can be a celebrity in her own mind, at least, and everybody's not able to handle attention in a productive way. So a lot of times their validation may come from social media, their validation comes from Instagram, their validation comes from TikTok, their validation comes from how many men they have lusting after them in their DMs, how many men that are validating them in those comment sections. Now, as men, being logical thinkers, we look at it and say, man, that don't mean shit. But the way that the mind of a woman works, sometimes that's just enough. That's just enough to last for another 3 days, 5 days, week, 2 weeks. And then when it's not enough, they start over. So you put up another pic with the angles are right, and you got your little ass that ain't been washed in 2 days. You got it poked out, and then there you go. You have brothers in the comment section again, and it's enough to last for another 5 days, 8 days, another week. You know?
Yeah. No, I definitely. It's a shame, right? But hey, I'm gonna say this one last thing, and I'm gonna respectfully bow out.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to, I heard you earlier. You were talking about like the LGBTQ, all the other alphabet letter community,
Right.
about like even if you're dealing with a girl and she kind of like has a friend who kind of leans that way, right? So I had a girl. She, me and her, we, I thought we were doing real well together, and then I remember her friend was, one of those folks.
Right.
But her friend like kind of like put it in her head to like kind of like compete with me,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like my whole thing is, right, it's not. I don't care what the woman does. Right? I didn't like it's, in terms of like career and everything, career success, yada yada yada. I don't care about any of that stuff, right?
I'm the same
support
way.
you, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna support you because I want to see you win.
Right.
But at the same time, like you know, like me and you were sitting down, we're talking, and then we're like, okay, like what's going on with you? You know, I tell her like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing, and then she comes back and is like, oh yeah, well that's good. Well, I got my degree now.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, did I fucking ask you that? Like, I'm like, like I'm gonna be happy for you with it and everything like that, but like, you know, like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's kind of just something that I just wanted to put up there as well because like you know it's crazy. It's crazy like seeing like how bad you know certain groups just don't want to see families
Yep.
together,
Yep.
right? And it's crazy to see like how bad they just want to see like people just kind of like rip apart something that's actually going well.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Hey, brother, I appreciate the cash app and you contributing to the stream, bro. I appreciate you coming up and really, you know, putting some information out there and putting your perspective out there. And at the end of the day, that is what this platform is for, is to get brothers to really bounce ideas off of each other. This is kind of like our think tank. You know what I mean? And for each and every one of you brothers that even watch the content, or the brothers that even take the jump and call up and have the conversations, brother. I wouldn't be here if you brothers weren't listening to the content. So I greatly appreciate it. And anytime you see me up, brother, by all means, you have an open invite to come up, bro.
Hey, thank you, brother.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
take it
Yes.
easy.
All right, you take it easy, brother. Man, brother Blackavelli, I see you. Brother Rob T, I see you. They say, young brother, don't mess up your resources. We need to get you to Vancouver, Canada. You know what, man? I got a Ghanaian homeboy that live in Canada. He said they pretty it's almost like a big welfare state up there, man. They got they're like them Somalis getting away from them dudes and getting on that government assistance and changing the game up there, brother. If that's wrong, you let me know. But my Ghanaian, I got a homeboy that's from Ghana. He and his wife are up there in Canada. I don't know which part. I don't think it's Vancouver, but they up there. Brother Blackavelli says, to the young man, I suggest traveling. Absolutely. Being somebody that was in the military, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you were in the military too. But Brother Blackavelli, with Brother Tassus being somebody that was in the military, I know traveling is probably not something that he's not accustomed to. So that's a hell of a bit of advice. You know, hey man, Brazil is not too far away, brother. Portuguese on Duolingo. Oh, it's true, Rob. Your brother Blackavelli was in the army. Yeah. Brother Rob, they told me about Canada, man. I heard about those Somalis up there. They say that they once they touch down, they know that they got their government assistance over there. It's a wrap. It is a wrap. The thumbnail for this should actually be okay, I'm learning Spanish and Portuguese right now. I'll be on my way to Colombia and Brazil. Yep. Hey man, join the Enlightened Western Men group. It's a good resource for brothers that are looking to travel. I'm in it. A couple other brothers from the Manosphere are in it. But brothers post pictures, videos, stuff like that. Real good resource. We're right at the 2-hour mark. Oh, don't rule out the Gulf states. You have women from all over the world. It's like the sample platter. Yes, sir. For any sisters that are watching this, man, ask yourself a question. Why are brothers not running to Europe? Why are brothers not running to countries where the women are traditionally blonde-haired and blue-eyed? Why are they running to melanated places? South America, Dominican Republic. Also, in the spirit of what Brother Kevin really preached, Brother Reyes, what's going on, boss? That's my bro right there, man. I appreciate him supporting the stream also. Good brother, man. But sisters, ask yourself, why are these brothers running to places where the women are melanated. And in the spirit of what Kevin would teach, think about what it is that you want out of the man that you can respect, the man that you can be submissive to, the man that you can really take all of your words and put it on his shoulders, like he used to say. Weight is made for shoulders, not hips. But think about that guy. What are the qualities that he have? How much does he generate a year? And once you check all of those boxes for the type of man that it is that you want, ask yourself, are you that? And if you can answer that question honestly, or if you have guys that you know that are of that ilk, ask them. Just tell them you just want to have a honest conversation. Really ain't got too much for y'all tonight. Big bro gonna catch up with y'all. Y'all be good. Bet.